Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and I've kept it off for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitancy in your weight loss and maintenance. Today we're going to posit the question, is it better to get a larger size when you start gaining weight? Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, especially from the psychological point of view, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my website, Naturopathic Earth, which has about 600 pages on it, articles and recipes. Check out my podcast, The Awakened Man, my books, and if you appreciate my content, there is a link for PayPal. All right, so this episode could go both ways. Let's say you've lost the weight, and maybe you're gaining a little back, because 80 to 85% of people who lose 50 pounds or more gain it back. So let's say you're gaining it back, or we can flip it around. Let's say you're losing the weight, and you need to know, should I go to the lower waist size of pants? Okay, so we'll make this more applicable for men because women's dress sizes are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Now, what is my take on this? So we'll see it from the weight gain perspective. So let's say you've always been a size 36. Your 36s are getting a little tighter. What should you do? Now, there is no uniform answer for this. And a lot of this is in the mind, because we've talked about before how 90% of weight loss and management is psychological. I fall on the viewpoint of do not get a larger pant size. Do not. Because the tighter pant will be a constant reminder that you've gained the weight. Now, again, there's a psychological point of view for this too. There's one of two ways. If you still have the loser mindset, the victimization mindset, you're going to try to put in your pants that are a little tighter. Be like, oh, I'm a horrible piece of crap. I had a poor childhood. This is why I have a bad relationship with food. Go to that episode. I think it's the most viewed episode upon recording this. And then you might self-loathe and then have disordered eating and binge or whatever, which will, of course, make your pants tighter. But other people, it's going to be a reminder like, oh, I've gained a little weight. And this is a reminder, oh, I need to lose it. So when you're at the restaurant, you're going to choose maybe a healthier choice than the fried food choice. Now, we have an episode, should you weigh yourself, or how often should you weigh yourself? And I'm of the mindset you should not be weighing yourself every day. You can get obsessed with it. And I talk about in that episode how your clothes fit is a better indicator than weighing yourself, or the BMI. The BMI is kind of a joke. Now, there's going to be other people who will tell you, no, get the bigger weight. But then again, we can rationalize any behavior, brothers and sisters in Christ. I mean, we can have an affair and be like, oh, well, I didn't get sex in the marriage. Or you can embezzle money from your company. Oh, they're not paying me enough. So when we go with the larger size, part of it is a defeatist mentality of, oh, well, I've gained weight, and now, these pants will look better on me than they were tighter. But you're conceding. That's the problem, is that when you get the larger size, and again, this is all psychological, you're conceding the point that you've gained weight, and you're almost being like, I'm giving up, I've gained the weight. Now, part of you will rationalize and tell people, well, this is short term, and then I'm going to lose the weight. But more often than not, you won't lose the weight if you go to the other size, because the other part of you will rationalize, well, I did spend $60 on these new trousers, so I guess I got, yeah. So it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing. And I would tell you to keep the tight. Now, if it gets to the point where you cannot button it, I mean, of course, there's always going to be this fine line. I mean, if it's tight and you got a little gut, you can wear your shirt tucked out if you need to. And that's going to be different where if the buttons don't reach and you zip, you put the belt around. I used to do this when I was a kid. You put the belt around it, and so the belt will cover the fact that the buttons aren't clasping. Then don't do that. You should probably get a larger size. But again, you shouldn't get to that point, right? So when it is getting tighter, at that point, you should be like, oh, let's screech on the brakes, and let's eat better, let's work out better, let's sleep better, let's get our stress down, and all the things that we've talked about already to get that weight down. So I'm of the mindset that you should not upgrade on your pant size. Now, really quickly, for those of you who are losing weight, and now you got the baggy pants, let's say you were a size, like when I was a kid, size 54, and it's just way too big. Again, a lot of it is superstitious, because some people be like, well, I want to keep the bigger pant size because what happens if I gain the weight? And as soon as I go from 54 and I buy a size 40 and oh, it's kind of tight. Oh, I don't know. I know they look better, but I don't know. And maybe 54 is a bad example because no one's going to think that going from 54 to 50 is going to be like a bad thing. But let's say you're like 42 to 38 and you're like, should I get a shorter weight or a tighter waist? Part of you might think, well, I might gain the weight back and then I'm spending money on these things. But I would tell you there, in that case, I think it's better to get the smaller size because it is a momentum booster. It's a confidence booster. It's like, yes, I'm going from 46 to 44. And a month ago, I was at 48. This is awesome. I'm getting better. I'm looking better. And we know weight loss, a lot of it is psychological. And having these little milestones like, oh my God, I'm going from 46 to 44 is great. So I think you should get the new pant size when the other ones are way obviously too big because we don't want baggy pants. Now, I should have talked about this in the Reflections of a Weight Loss Warrior series early on, but right after I lost my weight, my mom kept all my fat pants because she had no faith in me. And, why should she? Right, so because they're all through my adolescence, and again, if you haven't listened to that playlist, please do so and listen to them in order. They were taking me to dietitians forever. Like, why would she think that this one's finally going to work? Like this weight loss is going to work? So she would be like, "Gregor, yes, I'm going to keep it in your closet and just in case." I'd be like, "Mom, you have no confidence in me." And she'd be, "Oh, I still love you." So look, if you're losing weight and you want to keep the pants. I suppose put them in storage, get them out of the house because that's the old you and you're working on your new you. So in closing, don't upgrade when you gain a little weight, work on getting the weight down. And when you're losing the weight, absolutely get the new pants. Guys, post in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.